Hi, I'm Jian. This video is about the effect of inflation to engineering industry. So what is inflation? Inflation is basically a rise in price. It also means that your money won't buy as much as today as you could yesterday. Malaysia once happened a major inflation where it was happened during World War II. Under the Japanese government, the money that is used is printed too much and causing the money value decrease and hence cause the inflation. With the understanding of meaning of inflation, we now will discuss about the effect of inflation to several aspects of the engineering industry and how do we could prevent or minimize the loss.
Hi, I'm Qian. Firstly, I would like to talk about the effect of inflation on procurements in the engineering industry. In this case, automotive industry will be investigated as an engineering industry. The automotive industry is also one that relies heavily on supply chains and procurement. Think about it. Thousands of parts and components go into making a car. Motorcycles, trucks, or tractors, and normal auto manufacturer has the capabilities to produce it all in-house. This is why procurement is an integral part of the automotive industry, as is supply chain management. The price inflation decreases in the purchasing power of currency of a company to buy the material and equipment. There will be a major disaster if the material bought is not in good quality. When there are problems with products or materials received through procurement and the supply chains, the impact on automotive manufacturers can be catastrophic. This is embodied by one process that can cause streams of panics to run through the even hardness maintenance. Recall. A recall is when an automotive company has to replace faulty components on any of their products. Products that is not replaced, that can be sometimes very serious, have the bad consequences on it. Therefore, it's very important to carry out the analysis for procurement so that the maximum profit of the company can be attained. The increments because the automobile industry has to pay more to get the supply for manufacturing. In result, the saving of the company has to be increased in the percentage every year to ensure the purchasing power stabilities. While situations like this cannot be always avoided, certain steps can be taken to improve the procurement and supply chain management. Firstly, change the focus from the price to quality. Manufacturers have already realized that the price cannot be only the considerations when looking for suppliers. Opting for the cheaper option can have undesirable outcomes. Besides, the manufacturers can learn from the recalls, examining the reason behind a recall, either internal or that the rivals can lead to challenges on potential issues. Based on the information, steps can be taken to avoid the suppliers who manufacture this part and improve the overall product quality. Next, I would like to pass the topic of effects of inflation on operation and maintenance in engineering industry to my friend Teng.
Hello everyone, my name is Teng. Now I want to discuss about the effect of inflation on operation and maintenance in engineering industry. Firstly, maintenance costs in general are usually divided into direct and indirect costs. Direct and indirect costs include costs that are connected with in-house and out-house maintenance activity. Direct maintenance costs as a cost associated directly to the maintenance activity, which including the internal costs they are required to carry out the maintenance function. For example, labor, through spare part, training, and other maintenance expenses they are directly direct. Those costs will be increased according to the fluctuation in inflation. It will cause a carbonic cost of maintenance costs to skyrocket. On the other hand, indirect costs including all costs they are indirectly direct associated with maintenance, which can attribute to issues like profits due to the production loss during planned and unplanned stoppage, and customers loss, reputation, and consequently loss of market share as a result. of maintenance-related factors. Loss. The loss will affect the schedule of a project while it operating. In conclusion, effective maintenance lead to a lower production cost by deferring or preventing operator loss, so that the company could be preparing more fund of maintenance during the inflation. Next, I will pass to my group member to continue it.
Hi, I'm Thung Ee. Now it's my turn to talk about the relationship between inflation and inventory of an engineering industry. Nowadays, the financial situation has changed at different countries due to inflation. Therefore, there are two distinct factors to consider about inflation. First is the actual effect of inflation, which is to decrease buying power. The second is the effect expectation of inflation and it can have on the spending of both consumers and businesses. Further, under the inflationary conditions, the different cost parameters including the price are bound to vary from cycle to cycle over the planning horizon. In the real life systems, some but not all customers will wait for the next order to satisfy their demands during stock out period. Another important factor to storage, which no retailer would prefer, and in practice are partially backlog and partially lost. In order to convert the lost sales into sales, the retailer offers such customer an incentive by charging them the price prevailing at the time of placing an order instead of the current inflated price. By the way, an inventory turnover ratio can be conducted to review how effectively a business stocks and sells products. Mostly in an engineering industry, deteriorating inventory models are used as decision support tools for managers primarily, although not exclusively, in the retail trade. The mathematical modeling of deteriorating items allows managers to analyze their inventory management system to identify areas that can be improved and to measure the corresponding potential benefits. Additionally, we can consider the effect of discounts on the selling price when items have either an instant deterioration of a fixed lifetime. In conclusion, even economists disagree about what causes inflation and how its various effects might alter a business environment or cancel each other out. The safest approach for business owners is to watch their market carefully and choose an inventory buying strategy that aligns with their best predictions. Now I'm going to pass to the next presenter, Linbo, to presenting the manufacturing part.
I would like to talk about the effect of inflation on manufacturing. Hyperinflation creates the uncertainty which is inimical to production and generally harmful for the economy. There are two adverse effects of the inflation on production, which are reduced volume of production and quality falls. First, inflation reduces the volume of production because capital has slowed down. Second, inflation creates a seller's market in which sellers have command on prices because of excessive demand. In such a market, anything can be sold. Since tractors' interest is only higher profits, they will not care for the quality. Above mentioned are the main effects of inflation on manufacturing. Next part is about the conclusion. Inflation is generally controlled by the central bank or the government. The main suggestion is to use policy tools to control inflation, include money policy, like setting interest rates, and higher interest rates reduce demand. This will leading the lower economic growth and lower inflation.